Think about how much time you actually spend on your phone each and every day. It sometimes tells you. You get that alert, right? You have like 8 hours of screen time. You're like, oh, I'm going to cut that down. Even more specifically, how you hold your phone while you're on it for all those hours.
Now, you're probably looking down at your screen, not holding it up in front of your face, and that can strain your neck and potentially create problems over time. So joining us this morning is Dr. Karina Wu. She is a physical therapist and the owner of Activecare Physical Therapy. Dr. Wu, thanks so much for being with us again this morning.
Good morning. Nice to be here.
So there's a name for this, right? We call it text neck, but you don't necessarily get it from just texting, right?
No, you do not. It actually has to do with poor posture. But text neck is a overuse, repetitive stress condition. It is basically a term that is used to be related to neck pain and damage from looking down at your phone for too long.
Right. So
it's basically a sustained postural position that's causing this new neck pain and any other issues.
Right. So okay, I don't know who like reads their phone like this, but besides neck pain, what are some of the other symptoms of text neck? Like, how do you diagnose it?
So text neck is normally a musculoskeletal condition. The symptoms would be headache, neck or middle back pain, sometimes down into the shoulders, the pain and dysfunction there. You have to remember your head is a bowling ball, which weighs 8 to 10 pounds. And that bowling ball is sitting on your neck. Which is that bowling ball is sitting on the neck, which is sitting forward. So the symptoms of text neck can be something as superficial as just basic soft tissue strains and sprains and muscle imbalances. So it can also lead to deeper conditions like herniated discs and other postural conditions that are associated with poor posture.
Interesting.
How much are you seeing of this in your practice? You see a lot of people coming in with this?
We see it all the time. Whenever I go and check up on a patient who's sitting waiting on the table, they're always killing time on their phone and they're literally like this.
Yep. But doctor, are you seeing it in younger people more so than older folks, or is it a mix of everybody? What are you seeing?
So text neck is more common in adolescents. 80% of the time, someone's going to have their cell phone, and that's very, very common in the population from 18 to about 44. In general, 80% of the population is going to have neck pain at some point in their lifetime. There's only 2 hours out of your day that you are not attached to your phone. But this is distinctly more of a younger person's condition because they are glued to these gadgets.
Right.
See, my dad, he's in his 80s, but he's glued to his gadget, but he's always laying back in his recliner like this. So maybe that's why he doesn't have bad neck pain.
Right. That's actually a pretty good way of doing it because that's one of the exercises or awarenesses that they need to have when they're using their phone.
Perfect
Look at my
segue.
dad. All right, well, let's bring in Marisol and Oji to work on some of these exercises that we can do to help counter that tension that text neck causes. That's hard to say. Text neck. So lead us, Dr. Wu. What's up,
Doc? So text neck, yes, is a tongue twister, but I always like to start in the core. So make sure you're not slouched down first. You got to correct your core and posture from the bottom up. So sit up nice and tall, belly button in first, okay? Right. Then you're going to do what's called the chin retraction, which layman people call the pigeon neck. And that would be positioning this 8 to 10 pound bowling ball on your spinal column better by pulling your head back in space.
Okay.
This is the advanced move.
You're going to stack your spinal column better, and this head is going to sit directly over the neck like it's supposed to. After you hold your position and get it into a better position, you're going to do a nodding exercise. And this is when it's okay to have a little bit of a double chin. You're going to keep your mouth closed, tongue on the roof of the mouth, no teeth touching. And you're just going to try to touch your chin to your throat by doing that. So you guys are going a little bit too much because you're going down to look down. You should still be able to look forward. So it would look like this.
Oh, I see.
So I'm literally tipping my skull on my spinal column. If I'm doing it correctly, I can still talk. I'm not cutting off my air supply. And I'm turning on these deep neck muscles. These are stabilizer muscles, and they control the spinal segments and actually help reduce your neck pain.
Wow.
That actually feels good.
Now,
Nice
are you
stretch.
supposed to do this once a day? What's your advice on how to kind of realign yourself?
So I guide my patients to do this all day. Obviously, no one's going to be doing it 100% of the day, but when you catch yourself in this poor posture, or if you're looking at a computer screen where you're doing this,
Yeah.
this is, and you start feeling strain here, that's when you need to stack your vertebrae, get into that good upright posture, pull the head back, and then turn on those muscles. And I can still see my screen here,
Right.
but I'm not straining my soft tissues. So
Interesting.
what you said about the phone, and I've guided patients to do this, they need to hold their phone here. And sometimes people hold it here and they're like, oh, I can't do that, my shoulders.
Yeah.
But keep your arms in down and then just bending at the elbows, and you're doing this.
Oh,
And
I see.
and also this is helpful because looking down all the time is very dangerous from a safety perspective.
Right.
When you're doing this, you can actually see what's going on here.
Right.
Oh.
People are so involved down here. They literally look up and they're like,
Oh, what's
what?
going on around me?
They miss what's
Oh.
going on around them.
Yeah.
That can be dangerous.
It's
And we know
so-
we've done this walking too.
Oh my gosh, you see all the time, and I always yell. I'm guilty of it, but I also yell at other people when they're doing it.
Yep.
Hey, Dr.
There's
Karina,
one other exercise
Sure.
if there's time to show you.
please.
Real quick.
So again, text neck is the top of the kinetic chain. And when you bring this down, everything collapses down. So you have a forward head, forward shoulder position. So you can clasp your hands behind your head or neck, elbows stay forward, and to combat that forward shoulder position and forward middle back, you're going to extend backwards or backward bend. That's one exercise to do. So I'm getting a nice big opening in the front. And then I can also bring my elbows wide and pull them back and extend backwards. And that'll open up this whole chest area.
Oh.
So that combats those muscle imbalances that we get.
Oh, so stretch.
Very nice. I would do it, but I have a fractured wrist, but it looks comfortable. Hey, this was good stuff. We're
Yeah,
gonna all
thanks,
practice
Dr.
this. I feel like we're all trying to like sit our
Sit
best, like
properly.
we've never sat better before. Dr. Karina Wu, thank you so much for joining us this morning and kind of talking us through these exercises. I really appreciate it. Good to see you again.
Thank you.